We're back with the Beyond the Tracks podcast. Your boy TJ, the mayor.
I'm your man, the infamous Sorrow.
And we have another group of special guests that are here that are still in the studio. We're doing this thing all fucking night, man. We got people coming in. We got people coming out. We got people calling in. We got people calling out. You know what I mean? My brother's over there looking jolly. I'm about to go sit on this nigga's lap and tell him what I want for Christmas. I love you. Mikey over there still trying to figure out how he's going to get home out of the studio. We got another special guest I won't mention yet because he's about to come on here in a second. But for right now, without further ado, these two gentlemen have been doing some extraordinary, or do I have to say extraordinary?
Either or.
I don't know. I like the movie Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Depends on where you at.
Okay. Extraordinary things, man. From children's books to the hottest new podcast to the best pour in town to the #1 player in the Iceaholics. I'm one of my favorite hockey players. Without further ado, man, it is Pete Rendina, Alex Welly Wellhouse. Make some motherfucking noise for them.
What's up, fellas? Thank you for having us.
It's actually Wellhausen.
Willie Wellhausen.
You said Wellhouse.
Wellhouse. So I said Wellhausen 3 times the previous podcast.
Okay.
Though.
All right.
Okay. My bad. So Pete Rendina is not only is he a children's book writer, but he also produces podcasts. He also comes from the development group. They do some awesome media stuff. We're gonna fuck this up. I'm trying to be fucking cordial and shit, but we've been drinking all day doing this podcast. Cheers. I like
Merry Christmas.
Hell yeah. Happy Hanukkah.
You guys ever tried this 8 Mile vodka stuff before? It's pretty fucking good.
That's the plug. And Alex, first of all, when we first did Ruining a Classic, that's what I'm trying to introduce right now, is you guys do a podcast called Ruining a Classic. I'll let you guys talk about it, but I just have to say this. When Alex walks in the room in the Stardom and everybody goes, oh shit, a star's here. You know what I mean? Because that's how he walks in the room, like, oh shit, a fucking star's here. Like, if anybody thought any attention was going to be on anybody else, sit the fuck down and watch me work. And I love this guy's energy, man. So yeah, thank you guys for coming on the podcast. Alex, Pete, you guys explain about Ruining a Classic, your new podcast.
Yeah, so Ruining a Classic actually started through COVID. So everything was shut down. Nobody could do shit. So me and Devin Rucker actually hooked up. We figured out, I do writing. He does video work, and I pitched him an idea. I said, hey, you ever seen Drunk History? And he said, yeah. I said, what if we did it with classic movies? So originally it was just getting our friends drunk at my house and explaining a classic movie. I actually met my fiance that way. She slept in my bathroom, and she said she's never coming back to my house, but now she lives there. So
do you not want to go into that story?
I'm not going to go into that
story.
That's fine. I got to go home to that, so I don't want to get in trouble. But
yeah, no, it was cool doing it on video. And I, shameless, self promotion. I was actually the first one they ever did. Pete, told me, it's like, hey, we have this new idea, and you're absolutely the first person we want to come to. And I was like, you're telling me you're going to put me on camera and get me drunk, and I just get to say whatever comes to the top of my head about whatever we're talking about? Yeah, no, sign me up. Yeah.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, and Welly came to my house. Well, I gave Welly, hey, what alcohol do you want to drink? And he said, Moosehead Lager and Jaeger. And I was like, I got to drink that with you?
Well, you want to step in the ring with the champ,
True. I drank Jaeger in high school a lot, and so I threw up from Jaeger a lot. So, the taste and the smell just made me, cringe. But I was like, hey, this is showbiz, baby. But we did, I think, 14 episodes. Welly did 2, and then we brought Welly on as a co-host. We did a couple episodes, never put them out. So those are the pirated episodes that no one's ever seen.
We'll save those for when we get big.
Right? Yeah, we'll release those.
So Ruining a Classic, the Christmas special, is actually not the first ones. I know you guys did some before, but you did 14 of them before?
Yeah,
we've done 14.
It'll be the first one, though, that we've done. We've transitioned it to more of a podcast.
Right.
And taken out. So it's like me and Pete just do it now, and it's just, we like the podcast idea because it's just much more conversational. It's literally just like, we're two buddies that were drinking at the bar, and we just started talking about movies, and oh shit, somebody happened to fucking record it. It was just we both love the concept of that, and
right.
It's a lot of fun, but at the same time, you get drunk and you start going off on tangents.
Yeah.
So we got to kind of keep each other
Yeah.
grounded a little bit.
Yeah, luckily I had people that were giving me the hand signals, telling me how much time we had left, and I was trying to be real.
Yeah, that was one of the highlights of my night when we were recording it. Was giving Welly he wanted me to let him know when we're at 10 minutes, and every time I would let him know we're at 10 minutes, he would just give some type of crazy like he heard me, just instead of giving me like a wink or just keep talking or whatever, he was like,
the spirit of Chris Farley had channeled through me at that point. I was just all over the place. So.
And this isn't Welly's first time neither on Ruining a Classic, because Welly has a show called Cooking with Welly. Grilling with Welly.
Grilling with Welly,
which is one of my favorites.
Thank you. On my YouTube channel, Welly's World. There's some other stuff on there, but people really like the Grilling with Welly, and the dev group actually does Pete came to me. So again, during the pandemic, pandemic sucked as a bartender. It sucked for a lot of people. It sucked for fucking everybody. But Pete came up to me and was like, hey, since you don't have a job and I don't really have a job, we're both kind of bored. Me and Dev want to do Grilling with Welly. I was like, oh, cool. You guys want to come help me out with an episode? Like, no, we want to do Grilling with Welly with you. I was like, what? No. We're going to film it for you. And I was like, that's great, because if you are OG Grilling with Welly, Welly's World fans, the original ones were filmed like this on my phone
Right.
on fucking Snapchat.
Right.
And then, no, they came through and they just believed in getting drunk with Welly and watching him grill meat, and whatever dumb shit came to his mind, they were like, yes. So I appreciate them for that. And
We got a lot of free meals.
Pete and I, yeah. So,
And Miller Lights.
yes. Pete and I have been friends for years, but I mean, it was definitely, you could feel our bond grow through all that.
Is that supposed to be like a Miller Lite on your shirt?
Yeah.
But it's Zillion?
Yeah.
Okay. Because you actually have Miller Lite on your shirt, your ugly Christmas sweater. And it just so happens that one of my favorite episodes is, and this is the first time I've actually ever seen you, is, so I don't know which episode it is, but I know it's the first episode of one of the seasons. And he's passed out, shirt off.
Oh, yeah.
And you're calling him to wake, and he's like,
That's
it's
season
a
2.
Sunday. That's
Yeah.
the first episode of season 2. And then,
Three.
was it
Is it
three?
three? Okay.
Season
First
2.
season was the Snapchat. Second season was me and Dev came in and filmed, and then third season we acted like we had a budget. We didn't have a budget, but we acted like we had a budget.
Well, when he came in, when Pete comes in and he's on the phone with you, and you don't even know that he's present, and he throws you a shirt and says, "Put on a shirt. This is a family show."
I think I said this is a fucking
This
family
is a fucking
show,
family show. I was like,
it's a fucking
"Oh yeah, this is my
family
shit
show."
right here."
But also, there is TVMA at the start of every episode, just in case.
You gotta put your
You
disclaimer out there.
you got to cover your tracks.
I get confused for Guy Fieri a lot. I don't want them to think they're watching diners, drive-ins, and dives, and I'm going to be family friendly. No, I'm about 6 beers deep before we start filming, and
It's what's the what's the show from San Francisco? The
Queer Eye for the Straight Guy.
no.
Full House.
Slow down. Full House. The dad from Full House.
Bob Saget.
When I see that's one of them things where you see Bob Saget and then you see him do on Full House and you see him do stand up, and if you don't know, you're
He's
like, oh
filthy.
shit.
Yeah, you see him on
This
half.
motherfucker's the most raunchiest motherfucker.
You
that's
see him on
comedy.
Half Baked. He helped
Yeah.
write Half Baked, and he's like, I want to suck dick for coke. That was
Yeah.
he.
Oh yeah, when they're in
he
the
basically
AA
petitioned
meeting,
to do that.
Yeah,
He's
They're
like,
not-
you
they're
in
not
here
in
for
AA
some marijuana? You ever suck dick for marijuana?
I don't know if you guys are familiar with Entourage, but he was a great character on that show.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about Entourage.
Yeah, it was phenomenal
Yeah.
on there.
Yep.
He was doing some fucking one of the celebrity roasts on Comedy Central one time, and he was like, "Yeah, all I did was wait till the Olsen twins were 18, and boom, started." And I was like, "Whoa, Bob, those are literally your
I
fucking."
think that was his own roast because
I might have been.
John Stamos was the roast master.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh man, I just couldn't wait for the Olsen twins to turn 18 so I could start now." I was like, "Dude, Bob, that's fucked up." But
Super fucked up. But I don't know. Not to go off on a tangent, but with the
we
roast,
do this a lot.
they had the Jonas Brothers roast on Netflix. I don't know if anybody watched that.
I did.
I get the Joe Jonas a lot. I don't know. My fiance's like, "You look like Joe Jonas. I'm Sophie Turner." I'm like, "Well, she's taller than him, so I guess that works."
Yeah.
But
You look like a Joe Ray Rendina for some
it's
reason.
that guy,
Yeah, I don't know why. You guys related at all?
Yeah.
I don't know. Check my birth records.
So on Ruining a Classic, let's get back to that for a quick second because I feel like people are gonna love it and hate it and then love it. Like my girl, that was her first thing about it. Like she couldn't wait for it to come out. When I told her about it and I showed her a little snippet, she was like, "Oh my god, I can't wait for it." She's a big Christmas movie buff, and you guys just did a Christmas. That's actually out right now. The first episode's on YouTube.
Yes.
And by the time this airs, I think a couple episodes will be out on YouTube.
At least another one for sure.
Yeah, the first episode's up on YouTube. Probably another one will be released before we release this. But, I mean, basically, I know majority of people have seen Drunk History, which is basically comedians getting drunk, and then they retell the story with, like, big-name actors. And I'm like, Welly, we don't have a budget. We don't have anything. We have me and Dev. Dev has a camera. I have me with my creative mind. And, Welly, you're funny. You have at the time, he had a mullet and a denim jacket that didn't fit. So I was like, hey, bring that.
We got a hit.
Let's do Forrest. He said, let's do Forrest Gump. I said, all right, let's do it.
I love that movie. But no, it's great. I mean, Pete and I really love Christmas, so it seemed natural to start with Christmas movies. Pete loves movies. I like movies. Pete loves movies, but I love getting drunk and just talking about shit. So
Right. I have a degree in movies.
Well,
I don't have a degree.
That's what I liked about it though, is that you take it's called ruining a classic, because you take a classic that everybody's seen and then you ruin it. So it's not like you're telling them what happens in the movie; they already know. But you're just pointing out the facts.
We run through the movie like the key plot points, and then we just point out things that we think are funny or kind of bullshit or.
Which I tried. Oh, by the way, Welly, I tried to watch. I swear to God, next time you go downstairs and you go to the bathroom, you're going to pass the TV. Underneath the TV, there's A Wonderful Life sitting on top of my little stand there. I tried to watch it twice since we recorded. Welly told me, check this out. Welly told me this because I bought the movie, and it has two versions. It has a black and white, and then it has the color version.
Watch the black and white version. It's the best version.
I tried to do both when I was in Arizona. And I told Welly this. I said, man, it was just too G-golly for me, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Well, it was made in the 40s with Jimmy Stewart.
I said, fucking, it was too white, right?
There are zero black people.
And I told
no, there's...
Who?
Zero.
Name
the
Who?
fucking...
Which
the,
one?
The maid.
What? Okay. The maid. Wow.
The maid.
Yeah, I'm sure these guys are jumping at that. Like, the maid? Yeah. Fuck yeah. Get the maid in there. What are we watching? Gone with the Wind, or are we watching It's a Wonderful Life?
Okay, so here's the thing. Is I told him, I said, listen, man, it's too white. And he
Even
goes...
the black and white version is just all white. It's actually all white.
I said, listen, I'm mixed. He goes, no.
It's a white
TJ, you don't...
version.
Isn't that right, Mike? He says, no, TJ, you don't understand. Both your parents have to be white for you to get the movie. And I go, oh, I can't just have one. He said, no. You had to be. And so I tried to watch it anyway. And I did get, I'm 3/4 of the way through it right now. It took me 3 nights.
Just watch the damn thing.
I tried, but
It's
I
hard.
keep falling asleep.
It's hard.
Not gonna lie.
It's not. It's
Donna
painful.
Reed's sexy 1940s silhouette doesn't just keep you fucking going through. She pays the wife, Mary Bailey.
Yeah.
Donna Reed's
I
an
get it.
absolute bombshell from the 40s. I'm assuming she's dead now, so she's probably not a bombshell anymore. She was a pinup model during World War II. She's sexy as fuck.
I get that, and
I
I'm all
say in
for
the
that.
podcast,
I'm
she's
all
the
for
original
that.
MILF.
I'm all for
Like
that.
in
But
movies.
really, who I really want to fuck with is the fucking whore.
Violet.
Violet.
You know what I mean?
Everybody wants.
She wants to fuck everybody in the movie.
Everybody wants to fuck with Violet
As
until you're
kids.
When
itching
she
2
was
days
10, she was
later.
trying to fuck a 10-year-old fucking Mr. George.
She's like, yeah, he could be chocolate ice cream.
It was
yeah.
wow.
That's
And then he got
fine.
smacked up. That's when I was like, watching. Guys, you have to go check out Ruining a Classic, the first episode. You'll get what I'm talking about. But I didn't know none of this stuff while you guys were recording and talking about smacking up George when he was little and shit. I'm like,
Oh, yeah,
what
he
is he
gets the
talking
shit
Yeah,
about?
the
beat out of
pharmacist he worked for just beat the shit out of
And
him.
the best thing is,
and
since
the
it
guy's
was the
drunk.
40s, there was no child labor laws, especially on an acting or
was
on a
no
movie
laws.
set.
It was
so
Wild
it's not like
West.
he was beating the shit out of that
Beat the shit out of
kid.
Oh man, so you guys have to go check this out, man. It is called Ruining Classic. It's on YouTube. I want to move right along here because there's something else I want to get to. Is that this right here is
75.
my favorite book, Merry Christmas Little Bee. It's written by the very own our very own podcast friend, Pete Rendina.
Is he doing that on purpose?
Yeah.
We're doing a full 180 on this because if you listen to Ruining a Classic and then you realize that I wrote children's books, you're going to be like, that guy writes children's books? So if you watch it, take it with a grain of salt.
Well,
If
it's
you have
kind of like how
kids-
Dr. Seuss also drew some really filthy cartoons at one point, and then he wrote all of the books that we learned to read with. So
Well, Dr. Seuss also cheated on his wife who had cancer, so
yeah.
there's
Wow,
that.
damn.
Yeah.
It gets real deep. Like, you guys want to call
Right,
up
yeah.
Tyner and
Yeah,
Beaker and
dropping
get
some
the shit
jewels.
gets deep? Yeah, you guys need to be in the shit gets deep
If you want
podcast.
it, we'll get into aliens.
Phenomenal
and stuff.
writer, and he had a lot of great ideas, like
Yeah.
against like fucking like.
Oh, he had good things.
and all
but,
those
like,
books are like
personally-
allegories for like things that were like actually going on like during the Cold War. Fucking
Like a rocket in my pocket is.
Walk it in my
Don't
pocket.
ruin a rocket in my pocket. Don't ruin that for me.
No, but I'm just saying, like his wife had cancer and he was banging somebody else.
I think it was the maid actually.
It was probably the
Oddly
maid.
enough.
Was she white or
Was she
black?
black?
Right?
I
That's
don't
the
know.
question.
I don't know.
Because it
all
could be a
wonder.
Wonderful Life Part 2.
I think no, maybe not the maid, but I think it was actually like her caretaker or something. I know. I mean, I've read about it. Like
Super fucked up.
Yeah.
That's fucked up. Let's go back on a positive joint then. So get back positive
Back to the
again.
keys.
He also has Little B Doesn't Know What to Bring. This is a Thanksgiving book. And then his first one, I believe, from the series,
Yes,
right?
the very first one.
Is Little B Isn't Afraid of Halloween. And he signed it for me, man. I appreciate that. I signed it for my girls.
Yes.
And no, man, this is some really, really incredible stuff you're doing. And we appreciate you.
I
talented.
appreciate you guys promoting it because my whole I've always been a writer. Like I love writing. Like since I was a kid, I wrote short stories. Like I have probably 6 full-length screenplays that I've written. I have a minor in screenwriting, so like writing is like my thing. And like I coach wrestling on the side, so that's like a side note. And I tell my kids like, hey, you have to go after your goals, go after what you want, accomplish that stuff. And I'm like, I can't preach to these kids like what they want to accomplish and not do the same thing. Right. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to try and write a book. So I wrote out all the words for Little B Isn't Afraid of Halloween, sent it to my fiance who has a 4-year-old daughter, Blake, who inspired the book. And she goes, Mommy, I wish that the words had pictures or like an actual book for it. So I was like, I'm going to figure it out. So I went on Canva, like figured out clip art, put it all together, threw it on Amazon. And I was like, I'll post it to Facebook, see what people think. And a lot of people gave me a lot of positive feedback. So it was really cool to see that, like, people getting behind it. And I love the holidays. I love, like, from September to, Christmas is, like, my favorite time of year. That's, there's a lot of great holiday specials, a lot of TV shows that have, specials. So me being a movie guy and TV guy, I'm like, this is it. Let me try this. So
did you write the series and then put them out one by one, or did you literally put out the first one, the Little Bees, the Halloween Isn't Afraid of Halloween, and then went from there?
I put the Halloween one out first.
Without writing other ones?
No, I didn't write anything else. I got a little feedback, and I'm like, maybe if I do it every holiday. So I did the Thanksgiving one, put that out, did the Christmas one. I'm working on a New Year's Eve one where it's called Little B Stays Up Late. So I'm going to try and do every holiday, and then eventually I'd like to get to something more educational where, like, Little B learns the presidents, Little B learns the states.
Absolutely.
Something to help
That's
kids
dope.
just learn
Yeah.
stuff
Absolutely.
like
That's
that. So
dope.
and in a educational fun way, but there's little things that kids can learn from this stuff.
Absolutely.
And if I can educate them that way, that'd be great.
Well, we appreciate you because this is something that me and my girl, we love reading our girls these books every night. And you got bars in them. You got bars. This ain't no nursery rhyme riddle, even though it's a nursery rhyme riddle.
Philosophical.
TJ, actually, so like you said, he wants to do them for the holidays. You love the books. You love Grilling with Welly. 4th of July, we're going to do our first crossover, Lil B Girls with Uncle Welly.
What?
I don't think we're gonna.
We're probably not actually going to do that.
If
Hold
we do that,
That was a joke, but,
This shit's about to go down.
but if I can bully Pete into doing it, like,
Lil
it'd be
B.
good to know.
we've talked about doing it, and I'm like, that's the day that this no longer is a children's series.
Well,
Right.
but you know what though? That's a good segue because that brings me into my next point. Is that when are we going to see another season of Grilling with Welly? Do you have anything in the works now, or are we waiting for summertime? What are you thinking?
Not to get cocky, toot my own horn, but being Monroe's premier bartender at one of its most popular bars, I get asked that question every fucking day, actually. So it's cool that like people like the
Larson's
show.
bar.
It's mostly my friends like, hey, when are we going to see more? But it's, the big thing, it's a time thing. Like I said, like they do my filming and editing for me, but they've got, other projects that, actually make the money as opposed to my, passion project on YouTube of grilling or fucking like I think my favorite thing they filmed for me as great as they've all been, it's not even any of the Grilling with Welly. It's we wanted to, test out the waters on a new series called, Two Sport Tuesday, because during the summers I golf on Tuesdays and go play hockey most Tuesdays. I golf a lot during the summer. I'm not any fucking good at it. I don't know why I do it, but it's just fun to get out there. But
that would be phenomenal because we wanted to do other sports with that. Because I was like, Welly, come to one of my wrestling practices.
Like full on singlet, and just me and
Welly
Pete
in a
wrestle.
singlet, that would be phenomenal.
And then like we go fucking play one-on-one. So not just always hockey and golf, but it started because I would always just again, everything with me starts with Snapchat. All these fucking ideas, right? I'm poking fun at myself. I don't actually take myself seriously I'm 31. I'm a fucking washed up former athlete that still tries to play sports. But so a lot of this, I do it in an ironic sense to poke fun at it. It's actually how Grilling with Welly started. I was drunk during the very first shutdown, just fucking showing everybody what I was grilling, and everybody was like, Welly, put these all together, make a YouTube thing. So I did that, and then the Two Sport Tuesday was you were one of them.
Not to toot my own horn.
But the Two Sport Tuesday, I think it started with me just throwing my golf clubs in the bed of my truck and then my hockey bag in the bed of my truck, and it was Two Sport Tuesday, and then people laugh, so I get a positive reaction. I'm gonna keep making them laugh. So it's okay, just played the worst 9 fucking holes in my life, but it's okay. Iceaholics play the fucking Wolves tonight, whoever we were playing that night, stick around, still plenty of tickets, I'm poking fun at myself. But I think that's some of the humor in it is a lot of people realize he's taking it seriously, but they know it just drips with sarcasm. And so
that's one of the best part of ruining a classic, Grilling with Welly. Oh, I gotta I just switched the camera back to me and I didn't catch that. Damn, that would have been a great moment. That would have been the highlight right there.
we don't
clean up on aisle 3.
We're not
clean up on aisle 3.
We're not sitting here trying to pretend we're fucking Ebert and Roper, whoever those guys were. We're criticizing these films. We don't.
Yeah, we're way better looking than those guys.
Obviously, I kind of look like the fat one, but it's not we take it seriously, but it's we don't take ourselves seriously in it.
Right.
We're there to have fun.
Right.
That's what I'm saying is when you come there, that when you come to those episodes that you guys have, you know what you're going there for. You're going there to have fun, have a good time, and you actually I've tried some of your recipes, dog. Not gonna lie, not gonna fucking lie.
Which one's been your favorite?
So the when you did the chicken wings, when you did the whole wings.
Yeah.
I mean, because not a lot of people like the whole wings.
Yeah, they go by wingdings. Yeah.
Is that what they go by, wingdings?
The ones that come already separated, breaded in a box.
Is that what the wingdings are called?
Well,
I don't know. Everybody just calls those wings.
So wingdings
and then
is the brand name,
wings.
and if you go someplace, it'll say wingdings, and it lets you know they're the separated, drum and flat, breaded, fried up. So.
I like when you did the whole wings, and I like the guest that you had. I don't know if he was your neighbor.
Oh, Fox Handler.
Yes.
Fox Handler.
Yeah, his daughter and I are very good friends. We went to high school together.
You're more than friends.
We're friends. And they live down the block from me. So she's been one of my very dear friends, Danielle. And Fox, especially if you went to CC, Fox is just a local CC just sports legend. He's that super fan that when his daughter went to school, he was at all the games. He was president of the athletic boosters.
Got his gold earring.
Yeah, he's just a fucking dude, and I love Fox Handler. That guy's my guy. So, but yeah, they were out walking, and she knew I was filming.
He's gonna keep it PG.
You gonna keep it PG?
No, I get it. I get it. I know you see that.
No, they were. So like I said, she knew she was going for a walk with her dad in our neighborhood, and she knew I was filming that day, so they stopped by, and
she knew.
That was our first, celebrity guest appearance.
I wonder why.
And the rest is history.
What we've been having our Christmas episode, somebody actually called in, and they were talking about kind of something about this. You know what I mean? You have a podcast, what you can do with it. Some things, some of the perks.
Absolutely. I don't know.
But I'll tell you what, this is what I'm gonna do here. Let's get up. We have a couple other people in the studio, man, that need to grace our platform and also our microphones. First time guests.
We're in trouble.
So you guys are gonna stay on. We're gonna invite a couple more people to the panel. Coming up right now, man, we got Dev from the development group. We got DJ Big Mike. Me and Rome. We are gonna go refresh our drinks. Let's go refresh our drinks. Maybe get our smoke on.
And refresh everybody else.
Yeah. We'll refresh everybody else's drink. You guys sit tight. I got you guys, man.
I love it.
Can I just also say real quick, you have a velvety smooth voice, and I love it. I hear you talking in this microphone, and no, I'm serious. I feel like I should be Ooh, coming up next on Smooth Jazz 24/7. Like
just
you would be
talked
on a
about
radio
last podcast.
station. It's like, all right, I got shit
B98.7.
I got to set the mood, and just your voice comes through, about to play some Coltrane, but that just velvety voice
My
comes
man.
through, and it's like, all right, this guy just got me laid tonight. Let's go. My
Big
dude.
Mike, did we not
man.
just talk about last podcast?
It's funny 'cause
B98.7.
You guys are sick.
Oh man, well,
Listen.
you guys enjoy, man. DJ
love
Big
y'all,
Mike, man,
man.
come press the
I
mic,
love
come bless the mic. Dev, come.
The 18.
Take a pause. Oh, okay.
Take a pause.
All right, we'll be right back.
What's going on? We back. It's your boy DJ Big Mike. I'm here with Welly, Pete, and I have a very, very special guest. One of my favorite guests tonight is the guy, Dev Rucker.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
For sure. I'll just tell you, I want to say first and foremost, thank you, man, so much for everything you do for the city. And I'll be honest, like when you first started like putting things out, running for the mayor. For those that don't know, he was a 2021 mayoral candidate. I was kind of like, damn, who is this guy? You know what I mean? Because I had never met you, I had never seen you, and I'm like, I do a lot of stuff with the city, so I'm like, man, who is this guy? So I started really following him, and I'm just like, man, this dude is dope. And then I think we met for the first time at the 8 Mile. Was it the 8 Mile?
Yep,
event?
that was it.
Yeah, and I was just like, we just kind of talked real quick, and I was like, yeah, this is a dude that I gotta kind of stay in touch with and work with, man. So why don't you talk a little bit about how you kind of got into that?
Yeah, I'll jump right in. It was after high school. I knew I was one of the people that were going to stay in Monroe. Everybody, I'm going to this school, I'm going here. I said, I'm going to community. So the love of Monroe started, obviously. I mean, I was the mascot at Monroe High, transferred over to CC. Now I'm seeing a public aspect and a private aspect. And it just really, I guess it was a culture shock to see how much, not division, but seeing things from a private aspect and then a public aspect. So I got to know a lot of people. A lot of my jobs were from people and their families from SMCC. And I saw, kids coming back that would play sports. And I said, you know what? Somebody's got to stay here. Somebody's got to be next. Yeah. And so it was always a goal of mine to run for mayor because I knew I was going to stay home. It came to me. I started the dev group. And then we did a video for a client, and I had a nice long chat with her, and I expressed those visions of wanting to run. I said, I'm going to run next term. She goes, what's stopping you from now?
Yes.
And I said, because that wasn't in my plan.
Right.
I'm going to run next term. And she said, all you can do is learn. The knowledge, just think about how much farther you're going to be knowing if you run this term than wait another 2 years. So, like you said, not many people knew who I was besides, some knew me as the guy that was the hot dog guy.
Well, you're young. You're a baby.
As they say. I appreciate the comment. But I jumped in knowing this is a win-win situation. And my good friend TR, I said, TR, two things are going to happen. I'm either going to win or I'm going to lose. Period. He said, nah, champ. You're either going to win or you're going to learn.
Oh,
and it hit me. It folded me like a blanket. I said, ooh.
Yeah, I love that.
You're so right. And I tell people, obviously I was doing it intentionally, but in the past 6 months, I learned more about the city than I did my 28 years living here.
Yes.
The ins and outs, who works for who. The city should usually work for the people, but we'll leave that for a different topic.
Right.
And just the amount of love that I receive from local business owners, people that don't even live in the city, saying, I wish I lived in Monroe so I could vote for you.
Nice.
Seeing the vision that I had of where Monroe could be and where it's going, even if without me at the helm. Monroe's headed to a nice place, and it's almost a slap in the face for people to run unopposed when you know where Monroe's going.
Right.
Nobody wants to headman this. Nobody wants to be the head of the precinct. I mean, there's a lot of cool things that are happening, and if you want to know what's happening, come to a city council meeting, check out a master plan, get involved.
Exactly.
Period. I know you're involved in a couple of committees.
I am. First and foremost, I want to say, to see you run, excuse me, made me because I've been that guy. I've been saying, oh, you know what, I think I'm going to run for city council. I think I'm going to do this. And I don't. And I get involved in other stuff, and I'm on the Citizen Planning Commission. I'm on the MAC board of directors, things like that, and that kind of got me into how the city works, how it runs. I go to a lot of like DDA meetings, like city council meetings, things like that. But to see you made me go, dude, what are you waiting for? Just go. Like this dude just ran for mayor. Like he didn't half step like I'm gonna run here first and I'm gonna do this. And to me, I feel like I've been taking baby steps, right? Because to me, that's what you're supposed to do, right? And then, but to see you, and I was just like, fuck it, I'm doing it. There's no reason for me not to, right? And I think of like all of Pete, like your family staples in this city, and I'm like one of those people. Like I love this city, love it, not going nowhere. Maybe, once a BTT podcast jumps off a little bit, I might have like a house in Florida, maybe one in Cali, but I'm still coming home. You know what I mean? So like Monroe is, like people say, how come you don't want to go here? And how come you don't want to go here? Because it's not the same. It's different. Like I love New Orleans, but it's not home. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you for that, brother.
And I think the fact that you said that, the fact that you looked at Dev and you said, I'm doing this, that's 100% what he wanted to do. He wanted to inspire people to run for, council, run for mayor, run for different positions. At the end of the day, he asked me to be his campaign manager. I said, I don't know what I'm doing, but hey,
let's go.
I believe in you.
Yeah,
let's do
go.
it. I'll do whatever you need me to do.
Yeah.
He's my business partner with the development group. And I said, hey, let's go at it full force. We don't win, but we're going to keep trying.
Yeah, and that's one of the things, like mentally in my head, I have this fear of losing, right?
Well, I think everybody does
I've always
that fear of failure,
And so, and even my brother said one time, he was like, I was thinking about running, I think, what was it, 2021? And I said, well, if I don't win, it's all good, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, but if you're going to run to win. Whatever happens, happens. But if you don't have it mentally going into it saying, I'm going to win this, why do it? So I was like, okay. Thought about some stuff, got involved in some more stuff. And I was just like, I have that now. So it's like, that's going to happen in the future.
And
I guarantee that.
And I think the fun thing for me, there was no student government. I barely passed high school, let alone,
Right.
I'm not a career politician. I would tell people, I'm just like I'm like you.
Yeah.
I'm like you. I'm just a tax-paying citizen who loves this place.
We just love our city.
And it's funny, a lot of people, they'll go out of town on vacation, and they say, Deb, you don't go anywhere. And I'm like, well, where do I have to go? I have everything I need right here in these 10 square miles.
Talk that
No,
talk.
and people, go out of town. Like you said, people go out of town. They come back. It's like, oh, Monroe needs this. Oh, Monroe should do this. Okay, you think Monroe needs that? Do it. What is stopping like all these people that say, oh, Monroe needs this? Like everybody here, I'm a lifelong Monroe resident, and I love my city. It ain't much. We're not some big city town but it's home. Right. Like my family, right. My parents, both of them, they're the only two from their families that actually stayed in town. All my aunts and uncles moved away. My parents are the only two out of their families that stayed. I plan on staying, and not to toot my horn, but you talk about Pete's family, humble brag. Like I have a direct lineage back to Colonel Francis Navarre, the first permanent white settler in Monroe. Like I've been here.
Okay.
My family, my mom's side,
Talk that shit.
We've been here. So like Monroe, it's a very big sense of pride for me. Like when people talk shit about Monroe, whether they're from out of town or here or from here, it's like I love this city. It does. It could be so much better. There's so much more. I go around other small towns around the Midwest. I've had to go to weddings. I'm at that age. All my friends are getting married. I ain't doing shit. But not yet.
My
cousin got married.
You got some peoples.
A couple of them. My cousin got married in this little town in Minnesota called Northfield, and it really reminded me of Monroe. It's a very small town. Only a couple of thousand people, but also very similar to us. They got a river running right through it, but they have utilized that riverfront. And you look at old photos back in the day, the city, all of Monroe utilized the lakefront. You have a very great natural resource that you're not utilizing.
Right.
And it goes right through our charming little downtown. And
I like something you said about, people. There's a lot of people in Monroe say, oh, you got to get the hell out of Monroe. You got to get the hell out of Monroe. There's nothing here. I like that. That was smooth. You got to get out of here. Blah blah blah. But if you don't like it, then leave, right?
Yeah. Or change.
But the thing is, do something. Like
Exactly.
what you said, do something. So like one of the things that I did was
I gotta stop you right there
Okay.
because I'm gonna pick right. If you don't like it, that's what I tell people all the time because it's so easy to hop on Facebook. If you live in Monroe and you have nothing nice to say, I say let's get you out by calling Corey Welch, the #1 real estate agent in Monroe County. So I'm just saying, if you have any thoughts about leaving Monroe and you want to go to Michigan or Ohio, let's just call Corey and get your house sold, and let's find you a new one.
Yeah, let's get your hating ass out of this town.
I love it. Yeah. So one of the things, like me and my wife, we live 3.5 blocks from downtown. We love downtown. We walk downtown. We do all kinds of stuff downtown. We go to all the different events. We would go to the tree lighting. We kind of like, we went to like Dundee and Ida and all this stuff, and we're like, damn, why can't we could do that here? And so I just kind of kept saying that, like, how come we don't do that here? I was one of those people. How come we don't do that here? And so a friend of mine was like, well, let me have you go talk to some people and let's see how we can get you involved. So I did that, and they said, well, would you be willing to DJ? Yes, let's go. I'll do anything. Whatever you want me to do, let's go. I've done it for 4 years. The first year, there was probably about, I'm going to say maybe 500 people. This past year, when we just did it, they're estimating there was 2,200 people. Now, I don't know if you guys were down there. I know Mikey was down there. But Dev was down there. Yes.
The tree lighting?
The tree lighting. It was packed. And really, the biggest thing that they did is I said, we have to add something, right? They was like, well, what do you mean? I said, every time we have, this particular thing here and this particular thing here, we started getting the museum involved and all the different food trucks and things like that, and it just made a huge difference. And I have people coming to me now saying, damn, how come you didn't tell me about this before? And I'm kind of like, well, damn, I thought kind of everybody.
Yeah, I thought everybody knew about that.
But that's some of the things too. People don't know about things because they don't know how to maneuver certain things.
Yeah.
Well, not only that,
And they don't pay attention.
Not
Monroe
only,
doesn't have any.
no, not only that. I mean, with the technological age right now, most people get their information from social media. Most people get their information from Facebook.
Most people
Twitter.
spend their free time on social media.
That's how they get their information. And not to, drag Monroe through the mud, but they don't promote things in a way that, all these people in this area and outside this area should be coming to these.
I didn't know when the tree lighting was until I saw somebody on my friends on Facebook post, oh, can't wait for the tree lighting tonight. And I was like, oh, the tree lighting's tonight. I had no clue. I'm like I said, lifelong resident. Right. I live a couple blocks outside of downtown too.
I will say this, in the city's defense, they did hire young lady doing a lot of PR, and she's really starting to get involved in like the social media aspect, and I apologize, I wish I could remember her name right now. I just
Jody Egan?
Yes. And so it's like she's doing some big things. So, and speaking about things downtown, this is a Christmas episode. I don't want to dive too deep into politics.
Oh, we can. I'm all for
I
it.
know.
No. I got a lot of things to say about the city government in Monroe.
We normally say we don't talk about podcasts or religion on this show. So I'm gonna move it a little long because we can literally talk about this all night.
Oh yeah.
So, Dev, I wanted to ask you, because I know you've doing a lot of things in Monroe. You guys as well. What would you like to see more of downtown for Christmas, for different events, things like that? Preferably, because this is a Christmas episode, let's talk about Christmas.
I'll start with and if you're not from Monroe, or if you don't have an eye for this, you might not have even noticed. But I love the DDA switch from the yellow lights to the white.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yep.
That lights up the city so nice. Being a photographer.
It's much less harsh on the eyes too. It's one of those little things you would never think of until you see it.
Correct. I love what the downtown businesses do, such as Tiffany's and Cakes by Stephanie. I love the businesses getting involved. I love the plan that Jody Egan came up with to incorporate the lights and the candy canes and the businesses. That's good for 5 years. Now, if I'm a business, it starts at, I think, 250, and like the max was, like the Santa was 11,000, or it got up there. Whatever
it goes
it was.
up to, I think one of them was 25,000, I think.
But once again, it's good for 5 years.
Right.
I mean, that's huge, with a nice plaque of the business that was donated. That's really, really cool. I was sitting at you can watch online. I was watching online that city council meeting, and it was a little late for me. It was either I think in October or November. If that would have been in July, watch those lights been lit up. And once again, people, they just said it. They can't go if they don't know.
Right.
And I see what they're doing with the My Cornerstone. That's great, but I don't care what happens in Milan. I just want to know what's happening in the city of Monroe. I see what's going on, but I want to know what's happening in the city that I pay taxes in. I want to see what's happening in the city that I live in. I want to see what's happening in that maybe your kids and grandkids go to school there. That's what I care about. I'm not saying I won't go Big Reds and go Milan. That's all great.
Yes.
I care about Monroe.
I love it.
So
there's nothing wrong. Like I love these little satellite communities we have throughout the county: Milan, Dundee, Ida, Petersburg. They might not. They don't add to the city, but the whole culture of Monroe as a county and as a community. Like how many? Pete went to Dundee. You know, me and Dev. You know, we're CC and Monroe guys. You know, we're all. I have so many friends from.
Don't hate on me for going.
I'm not hating on you. I'm saying like we all fuck with each other.
I used to fight kids from CC, but we won't talk about that on this show.
So a thing I would really like to see specifically around the holidays. I mean, again, not even to get political. I mean, we could do a whole podcast just on Alex Wellhausen's fucking ideas for ways to improve downtown, but specifically for the holidays. I mean, there's some nice family-owned businesses downtown. I mean, Jones for Men has been a staple in menswear for a long time. The D's B's Boutique, like when my ex and I were together, we went and shopped there a couple of times. They've got some really cool, items in there too. I mean, I'm not super into fashion, let alone
Brown
women's
Bag
fashion.
Boutique. I mean, it's coming.
There's many businesses downtown that need to be promoted.
Even a business that's been a staple for years in Monroe, Frenchies. Like, if you want to go shopping for somebody, you want to go get your dad a tie. Don't buy it off Amazon. Go see Todd Jones. You want to get your mom like or your wife, girlfriend, whatever, something nice from the boutique, go do it. You want to get a nice, piece of jewelry or something from Frenchie, go see French. Yeah. Don't go to don't go to K's. Don't go to go be
shop
some
local.
Foot traffic.
Shop local.
And then
100%.
when you're done shopping, go eat at Amaya's. Go down to 129, have a cocktail.
Well, even then, you
make a day out of being in Monroe and keep your money in Monroe, and then maybe you'll discover, oh, hey, I really do. Oh man, I really like the way they make that drink there. Oh, I really like this dish I had at Amaya's. One thing that really broke my heart was when the Book Nook closed. Yeah. We had a really cool bookstore, and like that woman had every book, and if she didn't have it in, she'd have it in within 2 days, for you. Yes. And that made me real sad when, But
I'll tell you something that happened to me probably, I guess, 7-8 years ago. I was constantly like, when you grow up in Monroe, you don't see what's there because you kind of take.
You just drive by it, and it just comes back around. Yeah.
And I had a friend of mine actually who lives in Livonia, and she would tell me that her family would come down to Monroe to shop, especially for Christmas. And I'm not gonna lie, I was like, well, where do you go? And then she started talking about Jones for Men. She started talking about all these little spots.
2 French hens.
Yes, and I'm just like, wow.
The craft jar.
So I made a commitment to say if there's anything that I can get in Monroe, I'm gonna search there first.
And that's the way it should be. I love that.
When Mikey had his 8 Mile event, I seen 50 jackets on Amazon and big and tall, big menswear, because I'm a big fella. I don't know if y'all noticed that. So I got to shop a little different. You know what I mean?
Oh, I feel you.
I can't just order what's, I'm kind of off the rack.
Might not be
I
on the
shop at
mannequin.
Gap for kids, so it's all right.
So, and I'm definitely not getting it for $26. We'll talk about that later. So I'm like, you know what? I remember, like I've shopped at Jones for here and there, right? And I remember my dad used to always take me in there. Another one was Diamonds Menswear that used to be when I was a kid. And so I went in there, and I'm just like, literally, I'm in there for not even 2 minutes. And I'm like, the service is amazing.
Impeccable.
And I'm just like, I had it in my head. I was like, I don't know if they're going to have my size. I don't know if they're going to have to order something. But I'm buying something from here today. And if they have to order something else, then and it's like that, little things like that is just like, I tell people that and they go, oh yeah, but you probably could have got that for $150 versus $200. Yeah, it's worth
whatever.
$50.
That's that personal service. Yeah. And I'm sure you said within 2 minutes, you already walk in, they're having a conversation, you're already getting measured. You don't even realize it.
Right.
You're already getting measured. He's holding your arm up.
And I told him my size, and he was like, no. He said, that's not your size.
No.
And like he didn't measure me nothing. I'm like,
no,
he'll come in and be like, oh, are you still this? And he'll look at me like, I don't know, well, you look like you lost weight. Maybe let's measure you again. Alex, you gained some. I don't think that's gonna fit you anymore. He's told me that, but it's not mean. It's just like he's being honest, and it's like, hey, you might want to wear that. It's
That's
not gonna look good on you.
Though,
I love it.
I mean,
I went in there one time thinking I wanted this kind of suit, and he was like, that's not gonna look good on you. And I was like, no, I've seen it on other people. It's gonna look good on me. He's like, all right, fine, try it on. I was like, all right, shit, this don't look good on me. He's like, it's okay. I already put this one together for you.
That's right.
And
So shout out to Jones for that.
And if you don't need, a suit, but you do have a dog or a cat or really any animal, I would jump over to Scallywags.
My man.
Love Scallywags.
My man is right here promoting.
Love Scallywags.
Bro, you ain't even sliding plugs in. He's like, damn.
Actually,
it.
like what you just said, like some of the business I forget just because I drive past them every day. Like, Scallywags. You guys know we have like a running store next to the fucking library?
Run Hip.
Yeah.
Santa
Like, how many people that actually live in Rio realize we have like an athletic store like in downtown?
Well, I don't know. Whether
you and me ain't exactly athletic types. But I still know it's there.
I don't go run on a regular basis. You know what I'm saying?
Once I do, though, I'm going to go there.
That's right.
I started something cool this week.
Talk about it.
Right downtown, Monroe Jiu-Jitsu. And let me tell you, I call it like a jiu-jitsu high. Pete came out to a class, and no disrespect, because I'm all about, I just want to learn this stuff.
Right.
But I went and I found the biggest white belt, and I said, let's go. But I meant to say, let's roll. And I hope that, he's like, you have any training? I'm like, I did 2 months in jiu-jitsu in Toledo, not like the correctional facility, but there's like a jiu-jitsu place down there.
Right.
So I just want to get that out there. But it was just too far. Once again, I'm a Monroe guy, so I heard about this coach Todd Williams, and I'm like, I got to check it out. Went in there, and I hoop over at the Monroe Family YMCA, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So if anybody wants to come, the Beastie Boys basketball, we're getting down. Everyone's like, oh, the 50 Up League. I'm like, listen, Rick will bust your ass, number one. Coach Daryl Mossberg runs one of the best.
So, Dave, let me ask you
student
this.
education.
If I start working with you, am I gonna have to go work out and play? Am I gonna have to do all that?
Well, it's funny because I'm like, I told my
I mean, I
buddy
will.
I go, LeBron spends $1 million, a year on his. I spend $130 with my $100 a month, but it's unlimited classes at.
That's the same percentage that you're spending.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
I'm just saying, if I start dunking on people, I'm gonna tell you it's
Also,
because I spent some.
Let me put it this way. I mean, I've been working these guys for over a year now. Does it look like I've started working out?
You look good, brother.
Well, I'm not saying I look bad. I didn't say I looked ugly, but I said,
you look fit. I know you got a six-pack under there.
Under here somewhere, absolutely.
But I do too.
But I've been working them for so long, I don't gotta work out with them. No.
Why have a six-pack when you can have a keg?
Exactly.
Let me put something in here real quick, man, because Welly's being coy and shit. Welly has been on the
Southern Michigan Timberwolves.
Southern Michigan Timberwolves. He's one of the best players in Iceaholics, if not the all-star of Iceaholics.
I am not.
And if you say that being a bartender at Larson's on a Saturday night or Friday night isn't a fucking athlete,
True.
You're kidding yourself.
Right. True.
He puts in the work.
I used to fucks with one of those Fitbits, and a fun thing I would do is not put it on until I'd go to work, and I would get 10 miles of walking in. And if you guys have ever been to Larson's, it's not the biggest bar in the world by any means. But you I put 10 miles in of walking before midnight.
And speaking of fitness, our office, the Dev Group office, is now located inside of Level Up. And John Carabino and his staff,
my grandson goes there.
They are bringing something new to Monroe, of course, and it's called, not new to the world, but it's GOTA training. And I don't even want to hiccup or say
it is, but check it out.
You need to check it out. He's going to drop a video soon, and I think it's the new wave. Athletes like Barry Sanders, Michael Jordan, all these GOTA athletes, the greatest of all time actions. And I worked out one time with John, one-on-one, and he just kind of looked at me like, once again, like someone like Todd Jones looks at you and says, I can help you.
Yeah.
And it's preventative for injuries. He just did a speech on it to the Level Up Club Volleyball. There's probably 100 and some girls out there, and that's one thing that he was stressing, not about what college is going to come look at your child. No. Your child will be performing safe techniques while they're here, and it's called GOTA. Look it up. There's so many coaches out there, but John is certified. He's done so much training. just saying, it's you heard it here first.
One-
on the BTT podcast.
One really great thing that John does, I mean, while we're talking level up, is, when I was with the Southern Michigan Timberwolves, I mean, when we were getting ready in my last season, that was like our indoor facility, like for the off season. And so I love the facility there. I've known John for a while. He played with me on the Timberwolves. John and I have been friends for years before that. But whatever sport your kid or you are into, John's got a coach there for that sport. And if he doesn't have one there, he'll go find one. He'll recommend, if he doesn't, like for your sport, but they have coaches for baseball, for softball, for volleyball, for basketball, for football. Like any sport that's major in Monroe, like they've got a coach for whatever.
And I like what you said.
Yeah,
With any
wrestling.
sport that's major in Monroe, the Southeast Michigan Red Storm will be in action this year. It's actually John took over.
Listen, man, I hate to wrap it up because I know we can have 50 hours of podcast.
I think we might
us
just
talking
have to.
about the city of Monroe. So I appreciate you guys so much. But before we start to wrap it up, Welly, hit me with your favorite Christmas movie ever.
My favorite Christmas movie ever. Okay. That would probably, it sounds a little cliche, but I mean, we've got all the classics, Rudolph, blah, blah, blah. I mean, we just did
We did a lot.
It's a Wonderful Life. And like, I would want to say that, but I think it's Elf. Honestly.
Elf, okay.
I love Elf.
That's my wife's. That's one of my
Will
wife's favorite.
Ferrell's hilarious in there. There's an all-star. I mean, James. No, not James Caan.
James Earl Jones.
No, is that James Caan? That's James Caan's in that movie. It's the dad,
James
right?
Caan,
Yeah.
yeah. Godfather.
Tomorrow morning, 10 a.m.
You've got also
Santa's
Zoe
coming to
Deschanel, which I didn't realize that was Zoe Deschanel because she doesn't have bangs in that
She has
film.
blonde hair.
She has blonde hair and no bangs. I didn't realize that was her for a while, but it's heartwarming. It's truly like a family-friendly movie. It makes me laugh as much when it first came out as it does today. I love Elf. Elf's probably my favorite.
Love it. So I'm gonna say 3 because Christmas is my.
You can't say. I didn't. Say,
I'm gonna say 3.
You can't say 3. I said your favorite.
Listen, I'm gonna give
movie
you a.
If he
I'm gonna
gets
give
3,
you
I
a
got 2 more.
I was going to say Pete can do what he wants.
Okay.
I got Christmas is my all-time favorite. Like we came home from trick or treating with my fiance's daughter. I put the tree up when we got home from trick or treating.
Nice.
So I love Christmas. So one of my favorites is Muppet Christmas Carol. I love the Muppets,
Okay.
and I love the Christmas Carol. We watched it last night. We made a bed in the living room, watched it. My fiance.
There's
and
like 80 different Christmas Carol movies.
I
too.
know, but the Muppets one.
No, the
is
Muppet one's great, like-
phenomenal. My fiance's daughter looked at me and she like asked a lot of questions. She loved it. She watched it.
Michael Caine's in that
Second
film.
one
too.
is Michael Caine is yes.
in that film.
Michael Caine is Ebenezer
Scrooge.
and he just retired from acting. So,
Allegedly, Michael
Allegedly.
Caine has retired
but my
from
second one
acting.
is the original Grinch, 1977, Dr. Seuss, the cartoon.
That ain't a movie. That's a TV special. It's 20 minutes long.
You had your time to talk. Just let me have my moment.
Sorry, I'm in ruining your classic mode.
It's fine.
I can tell. I was just gonna say that.
The original Grinch like cartoon, like that's like my all-time favorite.
Okay.
Because like as a kid, like watching that, I'm like, this is Christmas for me. Like anytime that came on like TBS, I'm like, we gotta watch that.
That's
or
the
like
one.
we had the VHS like with like the sleeve. Like the sleeve got tore up. It was like, oh, the Grinch is like all-time favorite.
That was the
And
first
then,
DVD my family
Home
ever
Alone
bought.
is gonna be my all-time staple. Because,
1 or
like,
2.
number 1.
Number 1. Okay.
Two's
Rookie
close.
answer.
No, 2's close, but it's phenomenal.
Dev, go ahead. What's your favorite?
Well, I'm gonna go 2, but my favorite cartoon had to be the Polar Express because I watched it first in 6th grade on IMAX. So it's like it's got
It's
me locked.
ingrained.
Yeah, no, that movie creeps me out.
That's okay. He asked me mine.
You know, like that.
And
No, those people are too realistic.
my favorite,
Are we on BTT podcast? Or are we on which one are we doing right now? Oh,
my
go ahead.
favorite Christmas movie of all time,
Almost
Jingle All the
Christmas.
Way.
Okay.
I just watched that yesterday.
Arnold
Great, that's a
Schwarzenegger?
great one.
Arnold
phenomenal.
Schwarzenegger, and don't leave my man Sinbad.
Sinbad.
Sinbad. Yeah.
I actually have to find it for you guys. I have a photo with me and Sinbad. I just like to wander sometimes at comedy shows. Shout out to Jokes and Jam. That was a blast. I wandered all over the place. But Sinbad did a show probably at the EMU Convention Center in 2000. Here I am, like, oh my gosh. Now I'm not here to laugh at his jokes. Like, I want to see the dude that almost took down Arnold Schwarzenegger to get that toy for his boy. Even though he's going to jail, my son got that toy, and
Right.
that was the kid's like, I got the real Turbo Man, Dad.
True.
But
Jake Lloyd, who went on to play Anakin Skywalker, by the way.
I don't know. For me, it's my wife is. It's 2 holidays she loves: Halloween and Christmas, and it's literally on the 1st of November. Christmas shit is going up, and we are watching Christmas movies every day.
That's me too.
And it's a movie that she, ever since it came out, like if she doesn't watch it, she's like,
it ain't Christmas.
She's pissed. Like I came home today and she kind of seemed a little off, and I was like, "What's up?" And she was like, "I can't find This Christmas on anything."
This Christmas is great.
And I was like, "Yeah." I said, "Babe, we have it." And she's like, "Yeah, I just didn't really want to hook up the DVD player if I didn't have to."
What is this
But then
Christmas?
she went upstairs and she
You don't
grabbed
know
the
what
DVD player.
Hold on.
So
What's this
you don't listen-
Christmas?
this Christmas is has
it's
man, it
it's
has
Chris
This is
Brown,
Beyond the
Idris
Tracks podcast,
Elba,
Welly.
yes.
Regina
Talk to
King.
Talk to him.
Welly, you don't know what this
talk-
Christmas is.
It's a black people's and wonderful.
It's a black
Life.
people's
It is black.
Christmas, but it's good.
See, listen.
It's a
my wife is
phenomenal
Italian,
Christmas movie.
Pete's Italian. Italians, they feel.
I
that movie.
associate with it. I love it. The
associate
fact that
I've never heard of this film.
it is
You're gonna
okay.
have to
So
watch
I'm
it.
gonna give you a broad overview, but it's
Hold on, is this because I'm fucking whiter than fucking
Yes,
Mayo?
it's 'cause you're
I've never
whiter,
heard of this
yes.
movie. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
But it is a it's an African American family.
I think what we should do is put that on Ruining a Classic. Before we leave, though, we do have to give a few shout-outs. Monroe City Church, Addie's Closet, Scallywags, Friendly Ford,
I
Cakes
guess
by
we're not gonna
Stephanie,
shout out
Corey
this
Welch,
Christmas,
Seamus
I
P.
guess.
Gillian, 8 Mile Vodka, Dev Not Dewey, Monroe's Original, Jokes and Jams, Never Say Never Entertainment, Funky Bones, Monroe Jiu-Jitsu, MCOP, My Mitten Decor, Welly Wellhausen, Sugar Shane, Meta Wave, Cal's Lunch Bowl and Royal Oak, Level Up, get your dog trained by Delta Elite K9, the Humane Society, DIY Dev, Great Mayoral Run, Pete's Garage, and of course our good
This
friends
Christmas.
at Branger.
There you
Larson's
go.
Bar.
There it is.
Beyond the Tracks.
Listen.
Oh, Beyond the Tracks.
You didn't say Beyond the Tracks, and you didn't say Totally Focused Entertainment. So all of that you just said, we're editing all
You
of
guys
that.
cut me. You guys stopped me before.
Oh, okay.
That
Go
was
ahead.
it.
Go ahead. I'm
So like I said, and last but not least, Never Say Never Entertainment, Beyond the Tracks podcast, Totally Focused Entertainment, and the only spot for the best burger in town, Don Larson's.
Somebody get that man a job.
Damn.
That's
All right,
what's
thanks
up,
for
that's
having
what's
us,
up.
guys.
So yeah, we definitely appreciate you guys.
Well, we
man.
appreciate
it's been a
y'all.
blast, and I'm sure. Matter of fact, I'm 1,000% sure that we are gonna do more business, more podcasts, more things. Hell, I might even just start my own podcast with Dev because I don't have to say nothing.
It needs be.
Hey,
We
let's
could
go.
do a
You know
300
what
part
I mean?
series on
We
you
could do
know
a
on
million
what to do
podcasts.
for Monroe. I
There you
want to be
go.
part of it. Yeah.
See, on season 45.
On season 45 of How to Better Monroe, the show came out 3 months ago. How are they 45 seasons in?
Yes. So man, thank you guys so much. I appreciate you. And from Beyond the Tracks podcast, we are out.
Thank
Merry
you.
Christmas.
Thanks for having us, guys. Merry Christmas.